channel. I'm so very glad that you clicked on this video today to join me in bringing you some amazing bookish content. And as you can see by the title, I finished book 1, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. And you guys, I want to sit and talk about it with you. I really do not know what took me so very long to read the series and start this series. I guess there are several people out there just like me, but it seems like this has been already read and talked about so much. So this video is going to contain a little bit of spoilers, but I love it, and I just want to talk to you about it, my thought process going through the book, how I felt at the end of the book, and my excitement going into book number 2. But yes, without further ado, let's jump straight into my full review on Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Also, I have a new camera now, so let me know what you think with the camera quality. From what I can see, it looks a lot better, but just let me know down below in the comments. But yes, you guys, I went into this book blind. Literally, I don't even think, can I remember a time when I watched any of the movies? Maybe bits and pieces of random movies, like not truly paying attention, because I remember Harry Potter and Hagrid when they went to the town, I can't remember the name, to like go buy his supplies. I remember that. I remember the face of Snape in the movie, at least what he looked like. I remembered the different names, you know what I mean? So it's like little bits and pieces I think I've heard from conversation, talking to people, but in terms of like remembering really what was going on, no. So I went in this pretty blind, and super excited. I heard from a lot of you guys that you love the book and you recommend them, as well as people in my lives have read them and they recommend them. So I thought, why not jump in and dive in? And then for Vlogmas, I wanted to have these Wizards and Coffee kind of series, but literally guys, when I started the book, I could not put it down. I know the first video that I did, I'll make sure to link that down below and at the end of the video as well, where I did my first, I don't even know how many chapters, first 2 chapters. I was trying to do 2 chapters every few days. Literally, I could not. After I logged off, I continued reading. It was amazing, and there's literally so much in here. I tabbed it a whole bunch. But yeah, I guess just to start in and to give you a little background, if you have never read this, Harry Potter follows a young boy named Harry. So towards the beginning of the book, you get some background on Harry's early days, literally from infancy, and just how he came to be landed in the situation that he currently is in, as well as landed with the family, the Dursleys, his aunt, uncle, and cousin. And you just kind of see how he got there. Now, while Harry is living with the Dursleys, he is suffering tremendously. The treatment is not very good. He's treated less than, and you'll find out why once you get into the book. But it's just very sad, and it's very hard to watch that, and it's very hard to read that, because if you have not seen one of my most recent videos, my full review in the Land of Stories, I read really in depth, because that book follows the premise and the theme, I guess, of the way you treat children, the way you treat people shapes them into the adults they're gonna be. So for me reading that, I was a little bit worried, like, is he gonna come out with like a really negative trait? Like, is he, once he figures all these things out about himself, like, is there gonna be some negative downfall that he gathers from this? So that's kind of how I went into the book. But once he gets in there, eventually he meets someone, and his name is Hagrid, and that's who I remembered from the movie, or just from, I don't know, conversation. This really humongous, massive guy, you know, with a nice accent and everything, who comes into Harry's life and explains the thing that we're all been waiting for. Harry is a wizard, and kind of just talks to him about that, because he had no clue. So you think, wow, not only did the Dursleys treat him terribly, but they kept some really important information from him. So once he gathers that information from Hagrid, he's then taken, and the both of them go collect all of his items, because he is going to go to school. He's going to go to Hogwarts, the school of magic and wizardry, and he's so excited about it, but he's also nervous because he doesn't know anything. This is the first time he's hearing anything about the word wizard or anything in terms of magic and his family, his past, his future, you know? And so it's just really exciting for him. So we follow him along those lines until he gets to school. And in school, and on the way to school at least, he meets 3 people who are going to be really intricate in this book for him, but I think also throughout the other books, I'm assuming. And those are his 3 friends. We have Neville, Hermione, and Ron, and they are each cheeky and special in their own very right. And they enter into Harry's life, and it helps ease the pain and the nerves of going to school. But as you can assume, he's also going to meet people here who aren't very nice, and there's a couple guys, Malfoy being one of them, who doesn't like him and tries to make his time at school just terrible. So you're going to go through that as well in this book. And then once he gets to school, you're just going to watch Harry understand his magic and learn and go to school like everybody else and try to gain knowledge, and being favored by some teachers and treated terribly by other teachers. And then he's going to land in a big, huge plot twist kind of like investigation where Harry is trying to figure out his past, if it's coming back to bite him, is someone coming after him. But yes, he just has the average kind of school life as any new kid, you know what I mean? You're bullied, you're favored by teachers, you're not favored by teachers, and you hopefully make some really good friends. But I just kind of want to go a little bit in depth on the different parts of this book that really got me. And the first thing being how he was just treated as a kid. That really like stood out to me in the beginning, and actually, I wouldn't say worried me, but it really got me to think, I hope that he can like be resilient. And at the end of the book, you really realize that, wow, although he went through so much negativity with the Dursleys and just so much negative heartache in terms of his past with his parents and how that all went, it's like Harry came out so good, better than we could have even imagined and expected. I really, really love how this author was able to showcase that, whereas Chris Colfer in his book, The Land of Stories, The Wishing Spell, was able to portray it in a different way. And I just really like that message when it's put within books. But yeah, I thought that was fantastic, just seeing how resilient Harry could be towards the end of the book. And then I guess you could say other things that really got me, or the big thing that I remember now off the top of my head, is Hermione. And I think that's how I pronounce it, Hermione. But honestly, I see myself in her. I was a little bit taken aback at the first little thing she would say, like, oh my gosh, that's so annoying. But then I really thought that was literally me. I can remember me and my two cousins and my younger brother. They're all boys, and it was just me, the little outlier, and me bossing them around, telling them things, you know, because you're the girl, you know, you have to hold your own. And I really saw myself in her, but that also made me think of, it's funny because like I'm going back and forth between both books, but it makes me think of Alex from The Land of Stories, and just how she was really smart, super intelligent, you know, not really had friends, just like Hermione, like, and even myself as a kid, because of possibly being like smarter or just being really focused on learning or education versus maybe other children or kids were not. And so I kind of found myself in both of those characters. But yes, I love that about Hermione. I love that she's very smart and intelligent. I think it's a really good help for Ron, Neville, and Harry throughout the book, just to give them a little boost of confidence in terms of their academics. And I guess another part in this book that I really enjoyed, or not really enjoyed, I guess you could say towards the beginning I was a little bit worried, but for some reason, is when he's in Snape's class and they're learning, or no, they just get into class and he starts immediately grilling Harry, like as soon as he gets into class, like he's not even giving him an opportunity to like sit down. And I found that really annoying, and I thought, oh my gosh, Harry, like, are you gonna be okay through this? You know what I mean? Like, this is like pretty tough stuff here and things. And he just is so derogatory towards his students, and it was just really off-putting to me. But honestly, guys, when that part came on, instantly I was like, Snape's not a bad guy. He's not a bad guy. He doesn't like Harry. I need to figure out why, but it's not him. So then throughout the end of the book, when you start seeing Harry and Ron and Hermione going around trying to figure out who is trying to steal the thing that Dumbledore had underneath the school, guarded by Fluffy, that big dog. Like, you're trying to figure out who's trying to steal the Sorcerer's Stone. Like, who is it? And they were like, it's Snape, it's Snape, it's Snape. And then in the Quidditch match, Snape is refereeing, and all of a sudden, Harry starts having difficulties on his broom. So I'm thinking, oh no, it is Snape. But I'm like, no, it can't be him. It's not him. So then, Hermione goes and tries to save the day and everything like that. But I'm thinking, it cannot be him. So then at the end of the book, when you really get down to it, you figure out it wasn't Snape at all. That's not who you expected it. It was just like a sigh of relief, really deep down sigh of relief. And it just like, it was emotional for me. I don't know. It was just like a lot. But I really, really enjoyed that part of the book, as well as at the end of the story when we figured out it wasn't Snape, we figured out who it was and what all was happening, and then Hermione and Ron and Dumbledore and all of them kind of come back to Harry and they're having a conversation with them and talking, and Hermione said, Harry, you're a great wizard, I'm not as good as you, said Harry, very embarrassed as she let go of him. Me, said Hermione, books and cleverness are some of the important things. Friendship and bravery, and oh, Harry, be careful. And that just really that was right before everything, but that just like, it was emotional for me. And like I said on my post, my channel post, some of these moments made me cry, and that was one of them. But like, it was just like, and then when I found out Snape wasn't bad, that also was really emotional for me. I don't know why, but like, when she said that friendship and bravery, yeah, the cleverness and being like smart, like those things are important, but friendship and bravery, those really stand true. And that just really stood out to me, because it's like, you don't know how important that was for her. Not only how important it was for Harry. Like, this book is filled with found family. This book is filled with character development. This book is filled with funny moments. It was just a well-rounded story. I do wish there was more talk about Quidditch and whatnot, but it was so well-rounded. And I love how at the end, 4 individuals, Neville too, 4 individuals who didn't really have friends, don't know what it's like, were really the outcasts, no one really like talked about. They were able to find friendships in one another, and you see how important that is. And that just really meant so much to me at the very end, to see how close those 3 got, whereas throughout the book they were like, we hate Hermione, she's getting on our nerves. It was just so nice to see how nice it ended up becoming towards the end. But yeah, that just made me so happy and just so excited. And I think I guess to talk about some funny bits in the books, the funniest parts for me, honestly, had to do with the Weasley twins. What were their names? Fred and George, which are older than Ron. Oh my gosh, you guys, I just love them, because what it was for me, it wasn't that what they were doing was necessarily funny. I just love how everyone in the book talk so much about them, like, oh my gosh, these 2 knuckleheads always doing stuff they're not supposed to do, getting into trouble, causing issues and stuff. But then when they would run into like Harry and Ron or Hermione, they'd be like, oh, hey, Harry Potter, all right, bye, we have to go. It would be nothing. Like, you never got into like, why are they like the class clowns? Like, let me see some of this. So I thought that was really funny, how it was almost like, you know, they're just, we're having fun, okay, bye, you know what I mean? I don't know, I just really loved how they were showcased in this book. But yeah, not too many places made me feel sad. Towards the end it did. It was like really nice. And I also really loved just when Harry was able to see his family and how he was able to figure out how to do the whole thing in terms of the Sorcerer's Stone. And it just showed how the honesty you have to have and the goodness. So it's like, although Harry went through so much, that honesty and just pureness that he continued to have even through all of that, it was just so nice. And I really loved how resilient he was towards the end of the book. But you guys, I love this. I'm all over the place. I hope I got my point across, but like, I could talk about this for hours. I mean, it was just, when I posted on my Instagram yesterday, when you guys are looking at this now, I was talking about how there are some authors who just can write. Like, they just know how to write. Like, you don't have to worry about it. They just know how to write. You know, like, there's some authors where instead you have to get to like 5 chapters in or half the book in order to like get invested. There are those authors that you can literally read the first page and you're hooked. And this was one of those books. The Blameless, The Tarnished, The Land of Stories, the Blackwood and Virtue first book. I cannot remember the name off the top of my head, but I'll post something up here for you guys. What else can I think of? Prince Caspian. Sorry about the dog barking, not my dog. But yeah, there's several more. Just off the top of my head, those are the ones I'm thinking of. But honestly, there are those authors that in the first page they can get you hooked, and that is an author who knows how to write. And I just love reading stories like that, because then all literal, how many pages are in this book? All 309 pages I am soaking in, instead of like the first 100 I'm like, I don't really like it. Okay, now it's getting good. Like, I love when all of the pages of the book really get me. I'm feeling so much emotion. I'm loving it, instead of like, this is boring. I love to be able to tab my book, and when you can't tab some like the first 100 pages because it's like so drab, it's not fun. But yeah, I love it. And do not forget to go over to my Instagram. I'll link the name up here for you guys, and I'll have it down below in the description box, because there I post book content. There I ask different questions and whatnot. But yeah, I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so very much for clicking on it and joining me and bringing you this bookish content. If you have not already, And hopefully I didn't spoil it too much. I gave you a little bit of stuff, but not a lot, like the gist of it, like you still need to read this book. I highly recommend it. I'll make sure to link it down below for you guys. I'm so excited to dive into book 2. And what I think I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna do any updates or reviews on this book unless you want it for the next books in the series until I get them all done, unless if you want me to go book by book. But yeah, I really love this. It was so much fun reading it. I love middle grade. I love it so much. It's just this purity, this honesty, this goodness that just kind of radiates from these books. But yeah, I hope that you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Turn on your notification bell so you can be notified every single time I post a video, and join this Bookish fam because we're growing. I think we're almost at 190. I cannot wait. But I guess because I'm here now, I'll let you know once I hit 200 subscribers, you guys, I am going to be doing a giveaway. I'm going to be giving away some of the books in my collection that I've read, that I want you to also read. I'm going to be adding some more goodies into that box. I'm going to be picking one winner once we get to 200, and I will be shipping you a box of Bookish goodies, some new books, some books I already own, a whole lot of little treats and a whole bunch of stuff in there. But yeah, so stay tuned for that. But yes, we are growing. I cannot believe it. It's happening so fast. I cannot wait to see how 2023 will be for us and for this channel, this Bookish fam that we have here on YouTube. But yes, without further ado, I will catch you guys in my very next video. Bye, friends.